Então, eu vim gravar esse vídeo aqui rapidinho, porque vou postar um vídeo a seguir, vocês vão ver, e gostaria de mostrar, né, sobre a questão do racismo contra asiáticos, no caso, né, que também, claro, com certeza é contra outras etnias e outras culturas, né, outras nações, isso bem dentro de Harvard, né? Imagina, e Harvard sempre prima pela diversidade e de opiniões, de culturas, né? Esses alunos trazendo e indo atuar nos seus países ou às vezes em órgãos internacionais, onde eles podem exercer essa visão particular e diferenciada de cada cultura, né? Que é diferente. Entendeu? E essa diversidade traz um melhor desempenho, né, pro ser humano no futuro e, enfim, é uma caminhada, né? E a gente tem que caminhar junto e de forma diversa e não deixar ser colonizado pelo homem branco privilegiado, né? Então, a seguir vem o vídeo sobre os alunos protestando, né? Os alunos de Harvard. Achei muito interessante, porque isso também é educação, tá? Obrigada.
Diversity, as important as it is, cannot come at the expense of Asian Americans.
These Asian American students are leading a fight against affirmative action.
It's time for Asian Americans to break up with woke diversity.
They're at the center of a lawsuit against Harvard, accusing the Ivy League school of discriminating against Asian Americans to make more room for Hispanics and blacks. Calvin Yang, who's now a sophomore at UC Berkeley, claims he was denied admission to Harvard because of his race.
It goes to show that there is a trend here, a trend where Asian Americans are systematically getting discriminated because of who we are.
Now the case against Harvard and a separate but related suit against UNC Chapel Hill is coming before the Supreme Court.
The current law.
Conservative activist Edward Bloom has been leading the crusade to end affirmative action for nearly a decade.
Classifying students by race and ethnicity, treating them differently because of their race and ethnicity, it's unfair.
Bloom started the group Students for Fair Admissions and initiated cases against Harvard and UNC Chapel Hill years ago. Harvard is accused of holding Asian Americans to a higher standard and capping their numbers, but the school says it sets no limits. At UNC Chapel Hill, some students say there's too much weight on race in admissions, resulting in discrimination against whites and Asian Americans. The school, though, contends it takes a holistic approach to admissions decisions. Multiple federal judges have ruled neither school has violated the Constitution by considering race in the admissions process. But now Bloom and his supporters are banking on the Supreme Court reversing its own precedent and banning the use of affirmative action.
I think that is something that has been polarizing, it has been problematic, and I think the nation is ready for this.
Julia Clark leads the group Black Student Movement at UNC, and she says race is an essential element for universities to consider.
We cannot have holistic admissions without race, because race is embedded into every single facet of everyday life for people that come from diverse backgrounds.
Already, 9 states ban the use of affirmative action in admissions decisions at public universities. But leaders at the University of California and the University of Michigan say their race-neutral admissions policies have not worked, telling the Supreme Court in filings they haven't been able to significantly increase enrollment of underrepresented minorities since affirmative action bans in their states took effect.
I know that certainly in California, there have been definite attempts to try and even the playing field in other ways, and they've had a limited impact. There's a chilling effect when students don't feel welcome, either by legislation or otherwise. They're not going to want to come to a university that has banned affirmative action, that doesn't value that diversity.
Now it's up to the Supreme Court to set the final word of whether affirmative action can continue.
I want to see affirmative action being repealed and become illegal in college admission system across this country.
I think I speak for myself and other Black students that we really are scared at the end of the day.
Diversity,